Hey everyone, welcome to a special bonus episode of Locked On Lakers. Lakers welcome Luka Dončić back to the lineup. He drops 44 as the Lakers beat Memphis in Memphis. Things are looking up. I'll tell you about it next.
You are Locked On Lakers, your daily Los Angeles Lakers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks to everybody for making Locked On Lakers first listen of every day, Monday through Friday, and sometimes on weekends. No matter how or where you get your podcasts, this one's always going to be free and never behind a paywall. Locked On Lakers on YouTube is where you can go hang out with over 36,000, almost 37,000 subscribers to the channel, Andy, all of whom we're very excited to welcome Luka Dončić back to the lineup. A big day in Los Angeles sports as the Dodgers force Game 7 and Luka Dončić continues to average over 40 points a game, joining elite company with Wilt Chamberlain. We'll get to that stat in a minute, but Luka, I was a little surprised to see him, first bumped to questionable and then to probable, and I was just happy with questionable because that told me maybe he plays on Sunday. But Andy, probable.
Oh man, we got the treat part of the trick or treat on Halloween. There was no mystery box, no uncertainty, no raisins that you were being given at the house instead of candy. We got Luka Dončić, and man, did he make himself a return. 44 points, 14 of 27 from the field, 6 of 15 from behind the arc, got to the line 13 times, made 10 of them, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Zadravo, hello. I mean, that was...
and a partridge in a pear tree. That was pretty much everything.
As our everydayers know, I have been trying to learn more Slovenian as the Luka Dončić era is upon us.
You're basically fluent.
Well, yes, I'm pretty much Luca, and I could sit down and have very long conversations. Me, Luca, and Istok Franco. I plan for the three of us to have lunch.
As long as that conversation is just you saying hello to Luca over and over.
I can say now, Zadravo, hello, and I can say Chatiri des Set, which is 40. I looked up that word when Luca hit 40, but then I had to learn a new word, Chatiri Senva Ziet, which is 44. That's actually how you say 44 in Slovenian, because Luca kept going. He had no respect for my slow ability to learn vocabulary in Slovenian. Dude kept going, so I had to keep up with Luca.
And as Smokey's on the chat points out, it was an easy 44. Like, it wasn't like Luka was straining to get there.
His 44 looked every bit as easy as Ja Morant's 8, but for totally different reasons. Like, there were a few times during the broadcasts where I was not watching the Prime broadcast. I was watching Spectrum Sportsnet, but I was listening to Billy and Stu, wondering, is Ja okay? Is he all right? And then apparently on Amazon,
he played pretty well through the course of this. This was easily his most invisible game. By the way, we mentioned in the open, the Lakers won the game. It was the final score was 117-112 in the, they get off to a rousing start in the NBA Cup. The thing that, quite frankly, I don't want them to win if it means having them play an extra game. Although with $500K on the line per player, I certainly wouldn't begrudge them for putting a little extra effort.
Here's
I don't
the thing,
care how rich you are, $500K for winning like an extra basketball game, they'll take it.
And also, too, I mean, you are trying to win these games because they count towards your regular season total. And the biggest concern, if we're really being honest about the cup and big picture, would be the effect on LeBron. And I don't think he's going to be back before any of the cup anyway. So
I'll tell you, he wants that money if he gets back.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I don't actually even know when the cup finals are, but like,
he couldn't play that many of these these cup games. So I mean, really, the Lakers might as well try to win the second of 3 historic cups, because LeBron is going to be unavailable for most of them anyway.
So you look at this game, and it was Obviously, Luca is the
The
story
cup
here.
final becomes a tune-up game for LeBron. He probably could, in all honesty, he could probably use it.
That's right. It's the exhibition game he never got to play.
Yeah.
You look at at this game, and it was a really interesting one just because Lakers got off to a bit of a slow start, but by the middle of the first quarter, really had gained some rhythm. Luca, a large part of that, helping them get through, as JJ Redick said, when our defense sucks, Luca can just keep us in games. But by the end of the first quarter, the Lakers had built up a lead. They were up by 4 at the end of the first. You're feeling good about things. Second quarter starts and you're okay. Memphis goes on a massive run to finish the second quarter. They outscore the Lakers by 18 in the second quarter, and all of a sudden you're worried. Lakers played some really excellent defense in the second half, hold Memphis to 43 points. They won 3 of the 4 quarters in this game. They just put themselves in a position where they had to climb out of a hole. But overall, if you take like 6 minutes out from the second half or the second quarter, I thought really played a really good game, especially when you consider those sort of the momentary readjustment to having Luka back in the lineup.
I don't even think it was it was really momentarily. To me, it felt like the entire game, like in particular, Austin Reaves, I think he is going to have to adjust back to not having the ball in his hands a lot. He had 21 points, but 5 of 14 from the field, 2 of 8 from behind the arc, 9 of 9 at the line, and Austin continues to do that. And I'm not surprised because for the 3 games Luca was out, Austin truly had the ball at all times.
Yeah.
And obviously that is not ideal big picture, but small picture, that's Austin's comfort zone. I mean, he really is most comfortable in that high usage role. He's going to I have no concerns, by the way, about him and Luca rediscovering that synergy. It just, I don't think it completely happened in this game. You mentioned that second quarter. There was a period where the Lakers, other than free throws, really were not scoring at all. And that's really when they fell into that hole. DeAndre Ayton, this interesting subplot of this game, did not play in the second half and didn't reemerge from halftime until almost the third quarter. I think
it was about the start of the fourth quarter. He just came back to the bench.
Right. And he was being worked on with one of those like Theragun type dealies, back spasms, we were told. It sounded like one of those things where if DeAndre really had to play, they would have tried to give it a go. He didn't have to, between Luca's performance, and we should make sure to mention Jaxson Hayes.
Jaxson Hayes played very well. Yeah.
He played really well in this game. The stats will not necessarily jump off the page. 2 points, 7 rebounds, but 5 assists.
7 rebounds, 5 assists in 23 minutes jumps off the page.
You're right. No, actually, you're right.
The scoring won't, but the rest of it will. Plus 15, it's pretty good.
Yeah, he played extremely well in a half where the team really needed him. So
it should be noted, like Ayton, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Ayton had a pretty strong, the rebounds weren't necessarily there, but 4 of 6 from the field in the first half. Ayton was, a solid presence there offensively early. But after that, let's take a quick break. But then after, it's like you brought up Hayes. This was and sort of that idea of like statistically, some of the stuff won't pop off the page. I think that was true of a lot of really positive contributors to this game. So we'll break that down next.
Locked on Lakers is brought to you by Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, but every day, locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, crypto, all on one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. That's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. You're muted.
Thank you, Luca. We got a lot going on in my living room right now. So Luca's obviously the headline of what was working here on Friday night in Memphis, but he was not the only positive contributor. You mentioned Austin Reaves with finishing with that 21. Despite an inefficient night, we talked about Jaxson Hayes. They welcomed Marcus Smart back to the lineup.
Yep.
And I thought particularly in the second half, Smart was a really important part of the result here. And again, it's statistically 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. That's actually, I think, kind of in line with what the Lakers hope to get out of Smart on a give or take on a night to night basis. But that just drives home the idea, and he was a plus 12. That just drives home the idea that Smart's physicality, Redick talked about it after the game, those kinds of things as a tone setter, what he brings. Started the game, by the way, which is something I know you and I were hoping to see.
I was actually, to be honest, I talked about this on this afternoon's reaction show to Luca and Marcus getting upgraded to probable, which meant they were going to play. I expected Vando to start just because they had been limiting Marcus's minutes. So I thought it would just be simpler to have him come off the bench. Not only did he start, he played almost 35 minutes, which was a bit surprising to me.
Said afterwards he felt good. So
yeah,
but I know you both of us in this sort of LeBron-free world would have expressed we would prefer to see Smart fill that spot. Yeah. And I guess whatever was limiting that, whether it was just liking different choices. Gabe Vincent obviously was starting games before. He can't play right now, so that has an influence. Whatever it is, I think they have found their way into the lineup they should have been playing anyway. So, or would have played if they could have, whatever the reason. You can really see how he changes the tone of what they do, particularly like when you can get him and Vando on the floor at the same time with the right offensive pieces around them. Like that adds a grit to this team that they could use.
Yeah, and Vando had a nice game. There were several plays where through his hustle and tapping around loose balls, deflection, stuff like that, he just kept opportunities alive for the Lakers. And him and Smart, to your point, like the disruption factor with those two out there is really high. For that matter, the disruption factor the last couple games with Jake LaRavia has been
played very well.
The last couple games, Jake has been really good. I thought he played very well in this game tonight. And defensively, there were several possessions where he got steals just from reading the floor or created a turnover or a miss while just bodying up around the basket or bodying up the guy that he was defending. And it's been the last couple of games, I think, a good showcase of what LaRavia can do defensively just through anticipation and basketball IQ, because the speed and some of the other things, like he's not going to be able to keep up with some guys in terms of just staying in front of them, some of the quickness issues, things like that. One of the things I've noticed with Jake, like his feet, even by the standards of a guy that's like 6'8", his shoes almost look like clown shoes. And because of that, it sometimes makes Jake, frankly, look kind of slow and plodding out there.
Even when he's not.
Yeah, I don't know how much one truly has to do with the other, but
if he is wearing clown shoes, that would explain it.
It's become visually imprinted in my mind and made Jake seem very slow. But I have noticed he reads stuff very well, and I think does a good job, kind of like in the way like Kyle Anderson has become a very good defender without, he runs like a 9.5 40, but manages to be in the right places.
Jake's haircut also tracks slowly. Like that's not a fast person's haircut.
He needs a makeover if he wants to look quicker on a bunch of different levels.
Yeah, it's just that's not a speedy.
He's in the right
speedy
city
do.
though. He can make this happen.
But like you look at what he does when we were kind of doing the scouting reports and all that kind of stuff when they brought him in, there were some numbers that suggest that LaRavia, if used properly, has had some success as a defender. Like again, like you said, you don't want to put him out on a point of attack against, a couple times he got matched up against Ja. That was like, or like, I think he had a possession against like Cedric Coward, who was like, I'll thank you very much for that. And like you put him in the right situations and he can defend and he can be part of a good team defense. And you see the overall skill set that he has. He's good at a lot of things. I don't think he's elite at anything, but he's good at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And a guy like that is both helpful to have in the lineup, but also allows you to play with a lot of players. Like you can do stuff with him. You're not limited. The Lakers have had the last few years, too many guys that are limited in their skill set, which makes them hard to play with other players.
Yeah, to your point, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, just doing a little bit of everything. It was a nice night for Jake. Again, he back to back good showings. This was a game where I thought the Lakers did a very good job both adjusting to the new pieces, Luca and Marcus being back after missing a few games, dealing with some adversity in terms of Memphis having a couple runs, DeAndre Ayton being able to not being able to play in the second half. Last game of a roadie. There were just a lot of positives in this game, and again, it really helps when your superstar returns and puts up 44. 12 and 6.
It makes a difference. So the Lakers will come back to play the Heat on Sunday. It's a Heat team that's playing kind of surprisingly well, although Norm Powell has been out the last couple games with a hamstring. The Heat, one of those surprising teams thus far in the East that will not be necessarily the I want to say easy, but easier profiled game that it seemed like it might be a week or so ago. The flip side of that is the Lakers have come through a stretch that a week ago we were very concerned about what this could mean, potentially playing 5 or 6 games without Luca over the course of maybe 8 or 9 days. Luca gets back faster than people expect. The Lakers won 2 of the 3 games without him and are moving right along. Things are looking good. Locked on Lakers on YouTube is where you can go hang out with over 36,000 subscribers. Of course, be back after the game on Sunday. But Andy, we cannot leave and usher people into the weekend until we tell them about this.
Okay. Locked on Lakers is also brought to you by FanDuel, and the NBA obviously is back in full season, and that's why you're getting stunning work like this. And there's no better place to get in on the action.
Congratulations to all of you to making it to the end.
The official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It makes every game more exciting, every read more exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel's giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when you place your first $5 bet.
Andy's slowly sliding out of the screen because he's embarrassed.
No, I'm not. I'm just reading. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your first game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Okay, as spoiler alert, Locked on Lakers is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA season is heating up, as we have established, and DoorDash has found the perfect way to keep fans in their bag all season long. Whether you're watching for the highlights, your fantasy team, or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes every game night even better. DoorDash is the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, and they're celebrating with something called the bag drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 points in the game, DoorDash drops 50% off your next order with Dash Pass the next day. You're automatically entered to win for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. We're talking player-inspired drip, exclusive gear, and stuff you'll actually want. And this isn't just for food. You can get snacks, you can get drinks, headphones, ice, socks. Andy, you want socks delivered to you like with your food? That's fine. DoorDash can do that.
Sure.
So next time a player goes off for 50 points, which is happening basically every day now in the NBA, it seems like, use the promo code NBA50.
DoorDash really regretting this promotion.
Nobody scores 50 points in it. It happens once a year.
Too late now.
Yeah, no, it's like this. They're just giving these things away. Next, you get to use the code NBA50 the next day to get 50% off on DoorDash with Dash Pass plus your shot at the bag drop. Dash Pass members only 50% off up to $10 the day after a 50-point game with the promo code. Terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashInYourBag.com for full details. DoorDash in your bag all season long. Mercifully, we will see everyone after the game on Sunday.